people. Protect me, my anime people. Uh, Grimm this week was pretty grim. Learning about a certain backstory of a character who's really um, he's kind of like the heart of the show in the sense of he's just a good guy. He's really the focal point, probably, of just where everybody kind of gets their good feelings from. And to know that we are getting into a situation where everybody is pretty much changing, you know, anything that's changing in this show really oh my God, gives us the indication that we're going to continuously learn what it is that changed some of them from when maybe they had their own pages and they had their own stories. What could have been something that changed that, or a certain fact of what could have been something that they did in their past to want to help others with their books because of what they've done. So we kind of learned that Tao is probably responsible for the outcome of like a someone he called boss and someone he really wanted to, just be looked up upon. Like when that guy sees him, he wants him to see him as a friend, as a partner, not just, another person. Not to mention, he probably wanted to go on adventures. He probably heard about other people's stories and he wanted to do that. So it's clear that with this show's background and how they continue to tell us what what certain people will do during a chaos tale, it it's an interesting fact that when they meet these people, they somehow save them, do the turning, or they fix the whole outcome of the um, entire mess. But then at the same time, they earn like some type of respect or just a way to be able to become the people that they help. So I'm pretty sure this is another like swordsman now that this connection he's got. So that's the type of thing in this show that's really cool, that makes me want to see just where the potential of all of the people he earns. And then not to mention that if they ever make monsters that can just beat outright these people, I think that would be more telling to me as an overall story. When they can't just beat everything that comes their way, they gotta actually like use team attacks and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. But overall, the show is kind of keeping consistent with a new story. They they deal with whatever comes their way, and then the story kind of ends. It's like that's consistently the episodes as of lately, and I feel like the reason why they're doing that is pretty much to build up a sense of security, like what's happening and you know what to expect at that point. But as soon as they start throwing any other types of things in there, like different types of wrenches into the story, that's when they can start adding some stronger potential threats and stuff like that, I feel. I'm not sure, but it also feels like this show isn't really meant for combat and stuff like that, so it's not that big of a deal if they don't like start flushing up and making the combat scenes like really crazy and stuff. Like it doesn't really matter to me because I don't think that's what the show is necessarily going for. And the other thing that people are like disappointed about, or that I was just reading some random comments about when this episode came out, I think the day of when it came out, I think there was a guy alive, man, I'm scared. But with what I was hearing from them, they just like they wanted romance, and I understand that people do like romance in stories, but seeing this episode and then people still saying, "Oh, there's no romance in this." It's they like literally alluded to there maybe being a romance, with the new guy and the younger sister. They're literally the only, well, not the only two, but there's three of them, and the guy is not going to try to hook up with his sister, and we now know that the ninja girl who just quick on her feet, she is a hornless Omi or something like that. So she's whatever one of these like Omis were here in this episode, but she was just hornless. So that's also kind of where this story kind of gets my attention even more, because even if you are a character who leaves your world, it almost was like this world like somehow found its way to bring them back just to relive their past, Like it just had a way, like this world just has a way to bring you to the worst areas that you might not even want to revisit. But with all that being said, to see everything kind of work out well in this week's episode was cool. Not to mention that our boy got to just, kind of revenge his feeling of, mistakes when it comes down to just hating yourself, for thinking you were useless and thinking that you couldn't do anything for the people you were trying to help in the long run. But in all reality, you did as much as you could, and now you're doing even more by helping more and more people in the future. So it's a very interesting way to just show a character that you're much better than you think you are, but there's no way that person who lost their life could tell them that seemingly at that time, because it just wasn't something they probably had time to think about or want to say at that moment. But instead, she pushes him off the edge, and he gets to live his life, and then he is pretty much marked as a traitor, which I feel like in his case, he probably told everybody that it was his fault that he died. He's practically the one that killed him. That's just the type of guy I feel like he is in a situation like this. So overall, man, it definitely hurts to see sad stories, but it's even better to see him and the crew get to be closer because of dealing with the past and because of actually being open about this and not just holding it in for himself and not telling anybody. At least his teammates and his friends know exactly how he was feeling, or a little bit of how he was feeling now. So in all, I people saying that there's no action in this show, or action. There's no romance in the show when most of them, they like came into this thing as like friends together, so it wasn't surprising to me that they want to probably stick together as long as possible, helping each other out. And we are just seeing a quick way to understand what all types of stories are out there. Not just types of story, but even after they fix all this, they still have to leave and know that they are they're leaving a place that's going to go back to the way that they just don't care. They go and fight each other because they want to. One fights because they think that's the right thing to do. All of these different things are kind of the indications of story that's never gonna stop going the way it's going, because no one cares to change it, and that's just seemingly how it goes. So it sucks to think about it that way, but it's also the reality of just how life is. Just some things never really change, even if we know the outcome is much, much worse than we want it to be, and people still let those things play out. But with all that being said, my anime people, this game is freaking me out. I'm probably gonna hop off here. I got an update for it, and I wanted to see if I could like record a decent video without having any sound, because guys, I'm playing the game. I always play the game while I'm talking to you guys, so I'm multitasking and I'm trying to remember what's going on, and right now I'm just scared of something being in this water and trying to rip me out and try to talk about anime. Okay, it's hard. So yeah, I'll probably use more bright and nice games, but I thought since this episode had such a twist in it, it was kind of fitting the mood that I was talking about with what was going on. So drop a like, subscribe, let me know if there's any games out that you guys are excited for. I'll probably be having them in the background pretty soon here, and not to mention, your boy is about to be grinding heavy on some games, so if I ever drop videos extra late, it's probably because of that, and I just want to be upfront and honest with you guys. Like Devil May Cry is coming out, Sekiro, um, Division. So I definitely want to continue to make all my videos, so don't worry, I'll be dropping daily content. I just want you to know, if you're watching this, that your boy stuff might be a little bit late, and I apologize for that. My anime people, my anime people, have a great day, night, evening, whatever the case it may be when you're watching this, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you for subscribing. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe now, because I'm very grateful for everybody I got right now, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.